the co-founder of Hugging Face and CTO, has just announced the release of HuggingChat, a chatbot for Hugging Face. This chatbot is based on Open Assistant's data that is human curated and is of a very high quality. The announcer says some people said that closed APIs were winning, but we will never give up the fight, for open source AI. Today is a big day as we launch the first open source alternative to ChatGPT, Hugging Chat, powered by Open Assistant's latest model, the best open source chat model. The underlying model for Hugging Chat is based on this Open Assistant Llama 30 billion parameter model that is further fine-tuned using data that Open Assistant has collected from the web and curated by many open source enthusiasts on the Open Assistant site. The chat itself is version 0, which means that it is not authenticated in any way. So none of the queries that you send are saved. So if you close the browser, all the data is lost. Also, they say that the goal of this app is to showcase the situation of open source learning models in April of 2023, and that it will be upgraded in time with the latest of the models that are produced with Open Assistant and I guess other efforts as well. In the technical details, they say this app is running in a space, which means it entails that the code for the UI is open source, and the inference backend is running text generation inference on Hugging Face inference API infrastructure. So it's possible, therefore, to deploy a copy of this app to any space and customize it, meaning you can swap up the model and put in a different one or change the UI elements. It's also possible to go in a forum and discuss with other users or even the developers any issues that one might have while using the model. And as you can see, in just a few hours, quite a few issues have been raised, and there are very many discussions right here on Hugging Face at the chat UI, the Hugging Chat UI space. Let us take a look at a few queries that I have tried at the Hugging Chat user interface on Hugging Face. First, I put the query, write a haiku about open source language models, just to try it out. The reply was, open source language model AI assistant at your fingertips, always ready to help. This is impressive. I guess it's an ode to Open Assistant. Next, I wanted to try something longer, and I said write a poem about open source large language models. And here it says, in the world of code and data, an open source language model stands tall, with knowledge vast and deep. It processes words with ease, offering insights, solving complex needs. Its power grows every day. With every contribution made, its abilities continue to expand, and its future looks bright ahead. Let's all work together to make it even better for the benefit of us all. Okay, in this case, the wording is good and the phrasing is also not bad, and I'm not sure I can judge poems too well, but the one thing that's, standing out is the formatting. Not putting end of line returns makes this very hard to read, and also the paragraphs. If we had paragraphs, stanzas, then it's easier to evaluate the poem, but in this format, it's really hard to read. Okay, so we're going to try another query, this time of factual information, and I put who is the king of France, which there's no king right now, but the prime minister is Macron, so I expected that to come up. But the model says, as an AI language model, I'm unable, and then it gets stuck. So this is, well, the model is still alpha level, not yet beta, so I guess it's going to fail from time to time. So this is one such case. Next, to try out numbers, arithmetic, but to try to make it a little difficult, just in this case, adding 5 digits. What is the sum of 12,345 and 54,321? Expecting to see, 66,666, but what it says is that the sum of these two numbers, just exactly what I asked it to do, it gives that statement right back to me. So maybe this is a failure in the fine-tuning process. I'm not sure. The next one is I tried to write the same summation in a different way. I said write the answer to the following, and just gave the two numbers again, but it wasn't very useful. It says this will be really helpful, which is unrelated to what I'm trying to do. So the arithmetic part wasn't performed well. The language was really good. So I would say this shows the effect of the trillion tokens that were used to train the base model. So that's good. The fine tuning, which probably is supposed to take care of the arithmetic, I don't think it's working as well, but I'm not sure. Okay, so the other thing is we want to go back and see a few of the issues that people have been having with this model, and that they have shared on Twitter. The best example by far on Twitter was this example that seeks to convert the XML for speech called SSML to SRT format, the format used for, say, movie transcripts or even on YouTube. Okay, this is the input. As a language model, it starts here. Can you convert below to SRT format? Assume the timestamp starts at 00. So you have the XML format references and the versions and the language and the voice names, and then you have these procedure durations and the words that are said. You have the relative times there at the beginning starting at 0, so then 0 plus 50 milliseconds, and then plus another 400 milliseconds, and then there's a break there. So yes, here is the SRT format. As you can see, the formatting looks pretty good, and the exact timing is more loose here because, as you can see in the XML, we're taking time in very precise, like 50 milliseconds here, a 20 millisecond difference here, which is more precise than you can see over here. I cannot judge the timing of it, but the format seems to be respected. There are also several examples sent in by Francois Fleuret, maybe. I hope I pronounced that name well. Here, it's the model is completely tricked by this very simple example. I have 3 apples. I eat 2 pears. How many apples do I have left? So this is to check if the model can keep the tags on what kinds of items they have in hand, and it looks like it's not able to do that. It mixes apples and pears. It says you will have 1 apple after eating 2 pears, as there was no mentioning of having pears originally. But if you say I have 3 apples and I eat 2 pears that I had originally, how many apples do I have left? And it says after eating 2 pears, you only have 1 apple left. So it's the same issue as before. And here is another example from Mark Tucker. It says, what are some little known trivia facts that are interesting? And the model replies, the chatbot replies, here is a list of 10 trivia facts, and proceeds to give just 4 of them. It says the average human brain has about 100 billion neurons, and the city with the most people living in it today is Chongqing, China, and it doesn't talk about the population. It says that the city is 82,403 kilometers squared, and says a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. I'm not sure that's true, but it's interesting. And it says Google was originally named Backrub, and Yahoo was almost called Jerry's Guide to the World Wide Web. This thing about Yahoo, I think this was what it was called actually. So I don't know. Looks like there might be a bunch of hallucination right here. Andre on Twitter also gave us something lighthearted here. He asked the Hugging Chat, make a list of things I did this week. And he said, this week you created me and started training me. You asked me to perform various tasks such as completing sentences and answering questions. Thanks for putting your trust in me, and I look forward to helping you out this coming week. So, Hugging Chat is the beginning of something big, and with the curated dataset that has been handcrafted and the underlying model that has been fine-tuned using Open Assistant's data, I think we can expect very good things to happen in the near future. And the dataset that is based on is the very popular Llama model, which has been initially trained on 1.4 trillion tokens for this 30 billion parameter model, as well as the 65 billion parameter model. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw very good performance happening in the very near future. So please try it out, and if you have some feedback, go to the feedback forum and enter your concerns or requests there. And also, if you have the time, please go over to the openassistant.io where the data is being collected, and you can help out on the tasks that are available there and also in the collection of data. There's a contributors leaders board where you can find yourself being mentioned if you happen to be contributing the most in that period of time. So thank you for watching until the end, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.